Saudi Arabia is trying to buy one of the oldest sports known in America, boxing. And the main person in charge of the effort is Turki Alashikh. Turki Alashikh made a bold move by having a fight in the United States of America while at the same time pursuing some of the biggest name fighters in the sport to work with him in what is called Riyadh season. Riyadh season has put on a bunch of events that have gained a lot of notoriety and have many people, including himself, calling Turki Alashikh the face of boxing. He hit a hurdle, though, when he came to the United States. In the box office performance of Terence Crawford. That was the rumors that were out there. And now we have some solid information to put behind it. But what is most interesting as it applies not to the sport of boxing, but the event itself, and it could be any business event, it could be any business venture. This event seems to be a very, very expensive stage of smoke and mirrors. As the numbers from the California State Athletic Commission have come out. Now, they have come out, and the way that I received them was from one of the best journalists in the sport of boxing, in my humble opinion, Paul Magno, who is just recently been named, I do believe, as the new managing editor of BoxingNews.com. BoxingNews.com. So we are going to go through that article and talk about it because it really does show. It really does show how a facade could have been pulled off. Now, let's go through this. California State Athletic Commission, that's what CSAC means. Report confirms Crawford Madmaroff Riyadh season shows a financial flop. Please note, and this again, please go to this website, follow them, put on your bookmarks, all of those things. Very good, very informative writer. This is a new startup website for boxing. Though I think it's been around a long time. He says a small upstart that is recently invested in becoming a larger site with the goal of bringing independent, hard-edged boxing coverage back to the fans. Here's my first article. And this is his first article, and he does not miss a beat with this. Despite being described repeatedly as the biggest night of boxing in U.S. history by paid media and public relations people, the August 3rd Riyadh season card, sponsored by Saudi Arabia and spearheaded by Turki Alashikh, the chairman of the Saudi General Entertainment Authority, said to be a financial failure. Excuse me. I'm just stunned that I misspelled this man's name so many times. Turki Alashikh. According to the report, and this is where we'll get into, where the first part is, it'll talk about why reports came out that it was a financial failure. And here he talks about Kevin Iole reported that the Saudis' first U.S. effort, which was the Terence Crawford-Israel Madmaroff fight, likely lost more than $10 million. Scores of tickets, thousands of them, had to be given away for the mega hyped event held at the BMO Stadium in Los Angeles. Per the New York State Athletic report, paid attendance was 21,799 at the 21,799 seat stadium. The attendance was 17,799, which means that roughly 4,000 seats were given away by the promotion or left unsold. And here we see the actual numbers for the reports, and you can see that the total gate was $8,423,000. So you would think that that looks like, okay, that would be a success. But what did Paul Magno refer to this as? He referred to it as a financial flop. Why is it important that it is a financial flop? And what does he mean? In this particular report, which I would have to make much larger, and I can make much larger, you will notice that I will not get bigger. Let me see. I can get rid of that if it'll help. Okay, there you go. All right. There's an aisle called exempt. It goes color, section, capacity, Deadwood exempt. You see at the end of exempt, there's 3,935. These tickets, these were, according to what this article is saying, tickets that they tried to give away, but they were not able to give away. And that the tickets sold, you do not know how many of the tickets that were listed as sold weren't actually bought by the promotion themselves in an attempt to give them away so that they could have a full site. So if you look at the sold and you think to yourself, man, a whole lot of these could have been bought by the promotion. Now, why do you think that they were all bought? Because you don't see anything under Deadwood. If you look at the third section from the left, you see Deadwood. Deadwood would be tickets that I do believe just didn't sell at all. That's Deadwood. They're saying that all the tickets sold because there's no Deadwood except for 65 tickets. The exempt ones were tickets that they tried to give away, but they had to turn back in. That's how the state knows that number exempt. Exempt from taxation. Exempt from taxation. Why? Because they were not able to give them away. I suppose. But sold, you don't know if these were actually paid for by the promotion themselves, and because all of the exempt ones were purchased, right? Because they're not in Deadwood. Exempt were purchased or just flat out given away from the beginning. So what this particular insider is saying, and we will go down, just move down a little bit to where they say it. Let me bring that back up. Give me 1 second. Well, anyway, that is pretty much what the deal is. And since that's the case, that it didn't sell 8 million, and Turki Alashikh could have very well bought the entire place for all we know. That's what the article is saying. So it was a financial flop. But why did they make sure that they tried to give all the tickets away like Kevin Iole originally reported? Because they wanted to create a facade that there was this big sellout and Saudi Arabia was able to come and immediately walk in and have huge success in the United States. It was what you call Saudi propaganda. Saudi propaganda. And there's the receipt, the check for it. Because people know that we're at the actual event, that there weren't people in the event. But that there were people in the event, but there were a lot of empty seats in that event. Over 4,000 tickets they couldn't give away could easily explain why there were empty seats throughout the entire arena. Now, the question is, how long are Americans going to support that type of business. I guess for a long time, if you go to LA and you say, I'm just going to sit outside this event and wait for them to give me a ticket so that I can walk in. But that's not necessarily the best business for in the long haul for young fighters who are entrepreneurs that really do want to be able to continue to put on those type of events because people are only going to lose so much money. However, that is not a really good beginning to their interest in entrance into the United States. Funny thing also, matchroom boxing kind of fell into the same situation, except for it was Anthony Joshua that got knocked out when they tried their British invasion. So the Saudi invasion going off pretty much like the British one in boxing. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, thank you guys so much for checking out the channel. Deuces.